This is a nice one about people who are in control of something, of an organization or a country or whatever, how to rule a country or an organization. When the master governs, the people are hardly aware that he exists. Next best is a leader who is loved. Next, one who is feared. The worst is one who is despised. If you don't trust the people, you make them untrustworthy. The master doesn't talk, he acts. When his work is done, the people say, "Amazing, we did it all by ourselves." So the greatest ruler is you are not even aware that he or she is there. Hardly aware that he or she is there, does not interfere. Never says, "Look at me, I did that." Identifying with their actions and taking credit for what they did. "Look, I did that." Or arguing with somebody, "You didn't do it, I did that." That same thing can exist. This talks about having gone beyond ego and beyond mind and identification with action. You also find this phenomenon in some very simple people who haven't developed an ego yet. They sometimes do wonderful things, but there's no entity that says, "Look, I did that," or that feels, "I did that." Beautifully expressed in the film Forrest Gump, where the hero or the anti-hero does not have an ego. He is below ego. He helps many people and many good things come into his life, but he has no sense of a separate self. He lives in the right way, not what this describes, because this describes of going beyond ego. But he hasn't arrived at ego yet, so he still lives in the sense of oneness. And if you live in the sense of oneness, the universe to a large extent becomes helpful. Helpful things come into your life because you are no longer separating yourself from life. That begins with being in a state of oneness with the present moment, accepting the moment as it is. That's really all you need to do. Then you're in a state of oneness with life, not imposing anything on the present moment, judgments, reactions, and if they are there, accept that they are there. So you can always accept what is, whatever level. Either accept what is externally or accept what is internally. And now here's a very wonderful thing about how your state of consciousness affects the world. That there's a correlation between the collective consciousness of humanity and the state of the planet. And there is a correlation between your state of consciousness and whatever happens to you. Not always apparent immediately, but there is a correlation between what's within you and what happens to you, or what you attract into your life. And furthermore, it's not so much that what happens to you is your fate or your destiny. Your destiny is determined not by what happens to you. That's what people think, that what happens to me determines my life. Your life is determined, your destiny is determined by how you respond to what happens. And what happens next is determined by how you react or respond to what happens now. So something seemingly bad happens, something goes wrong. If your reaction is negative, you attract the next negative thing. If your reaction is a response that says, well, this is how it is, now let's deal with that, the next thing will reflect that state of consciousness. Many people are trapped their whole lives in a stream of same kind of unpleasant things happening continuously to them because they don't realize at any given moment there's a freedom for them to change their lives by reacting differently to what happens. Your present reaction determines the future, not what happens. Your reaction to what happens determines the next moment. That's how you can change your life, rather than being trapped in bad karma for a very long time. Very easy, but it requires awareness.